Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, disclaimer, I'm going to have a little bit of noise in my background. I'm in a different environment this evening, so you might just hear a little bit of stuff in the background. Don't be alarmed, all right? Now, before we move on to these laws and regulations, the Creator dropped something in my spirit. Now, I know this is going to seem a little far-fetched, and I know it's going to seem like it's coming out of left field, but just follow me. We have been going through these different phases, right, of the split of the Earth. Not the universe, just planet Earth, right? Obviously, if Earth is moving around, then also it's going to be other things transitioning in the whole galaxy, in the entire belt as well. But because we're in this dimension, I think it's safe to just focus on this, this plane, right? Now, if you really want to be technical, we can actually say that we're living in two dimensions at the same time, but this is going to be based on your consciousness and your ability to vibrate on a particular frequency, right? Again, a lot of the stuff that we are going to be covering for the next few weeks is not going to be something that you can just easily Google, right? You have to speak with the ancestors. You have to probably go on like Patreon or YouTube, read some books, particularly ancient books. It doesn't have to be Egypt, right? Just books with sacred ancient knowledge. If you want to, you can actually use religion to support and back in science, right? To support some of your stuff. So I apologize again if anything I'm saying is being tuned out. Just follow me, right? Now, if you really focus, okay, on what's been happening, a lot of the things that's been going on since 2012 and then fast forward to COVID has been considering a lot of things with your lungs, the environment, and the water, right? Now, this environment is obviously Earth, right? So what's in the atmosphere? What's going on in the soil? What's going on with the animals? What's going on with us, okay? When you start paying attention to what's happening, you'll get a good glimpse of everything. I was walking past and it was actually a group of people, and I heard a lot of different things in the spirit, but I saw even more, right? And then I was like, wait a minute, what's happening? So the Creator's like, step in the street, like get in the street. So I'm like, get in the street? Oh shit. I get in the street, and then he's like, cover your face, cover your face. So I covered my face, and then immediately it takes me to this surah. If you're not well versed in the Quran, because I'm not well versed, right? I don't know anything. I know something about the Quran, but I don't know the surahs, right? Now, it's after 11 o'clock. The lights will come on. But yeah, so initially I was thinking it was because they were smoking and there was a bunch of different stuff going on, right? But I'm like, wait, I walk past people smoking all the time, but it wasn't that. It was definitely me going through all of these different battles that I saw it, right, when I was coming into. And I'm sorry, y'all, like I'm in a, like a real toxic environment right now. So y'all can hear me though, right? Okay, cool. So basically he was like, when he said cover your face and get in the street, I was like, wait, why am I doing this? And then I immediately heard him say, look. And then I just start seeing all of the different dark spirits that were around those people. And again, it took me to the surah of, when we sneeze in Islam, I don't know about any other cultures or religions. I know in the Rastafarian culture, this is a thing as well. But when you sneeze, even sometimes when you're talking, people cover their mouths, right? Because it's been said that entities or spirits can jump in your body through your mouth. And then this message was confirmed because where I am, right, it's a lady here. She's always walking around with her face covered. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here, right? And again, I'm sorry for the madness going on in the background. This is actually a very important message. So what's happening is the shaitan, a'udhu billahi, like, I already know what's up and what's going on, but we gonna keep it moving anyway, all right? But yeah, for those who don't know, I'm currently staying in the shelter, which that'll be changing very soon. But you know, I'm just around people who have their own little different energies and entities. So, you know, we know how that is, right? We vibe high. Anyway, but in a nutshell, the overall purpose was for me to see what the Creator was pointing out to me. And when he had me walk through that crowd, I was like, wait a minute, this is way too much. Then I said, okay, what am I looking for here, right? Fast forward, I get here, I'm going off because I'm like, how is it so many women, the bathroom, the showers are disgusting, right? And then the lady walks in. What does she have in her hand? Water. So I'm like, okay, God, you are really, really on it tonight, right? So I said, okay, I'm paying attention. Show me more. As I'm looking, I'm starting to see why we're going to need to cover our faces. Because the vibration of the earth and the overall multiverse is shifting and the vibration is rising, we are going to be coming into direct contact with entities. Like, it's not going to be through the animals, through, you know, objects, and through people. Well, it is going to be through people and animals and objects. But just to take this a step further, we're going to be having direct contact with these entities, good or bad, right? The idea is to protect your physical body. Remember, we only need this flesh in this vessel for this dimension, right? We only need it for this timeline. So, and to be totally honest, when I was there looking at the lady, and then I said, wait a minute, I didn't even want to see the spirit, but I knew that God wanted me to see the spirit because he's like, this is why I'm having you covering your face. And that particular lady is fully well aware of what's going on. That was another thing. Like, her level of consciousness has it even exceeded mine, right? She's vibrating on a frequency where she's already allowing her physical vessel to adjust to what we're going into as a people, right? So if you're not vibrating on a particular frequency, this is where it goes into, you know, the earth being split into two since 2012. There's actually a name for it, but this is not the topic or the segment for that. The overall gist here is to just be aware of the vibration that we're going into. And it doesn't even have to be, oh, you need to stop having sex, you need to stop eating bad, you need to stop smoking and drinking and arguing and fighting. But those things play a crucial role in your vibration reaching a particular frequency. Like, how is it that you're going to consume things, right, that are containing hormones? These hormones affect you on a genetic level, which affects your ancestors and your offspring, right? This is affecting your bloodline at this point. So a lot of people don't really pay attention to like what they're consuming, whether it's food, drugs, music, what you're watching, the environment that you're in, the clothing that you're wearing, the things that you're saying out of your mouth. All of these things are directly affected to your vibration, and you have to be willing to pay attention and consciously work on advancing and enhancing all of those different things, right? Now, fast forward, when I started going into the space of these people, I realized that none of us are consciously aware of what's happening simply because we don't want to know, right? When you educate yourself and you allow yourself to step into a particular space, you won't have a choice but to raise your vibration, because you'll die, right? If you're in a certain environment where something is required in order for your life to be sustained, in order for your vibration to be sustained, you literally have no choice or you'll perish. It's just that simple, okay? One thing that I noticed, and one thing, and I'm so sorry, I might have to re-record this because I don't know how it's gonna sound, but one thing that I noticed is that a lot of us are willingly engaging in behaviors and thought processes that are affecting us in ways that we're not consciously aware of, like at this moment, right? It may hit you later. It may, come to you later on that, like, all right, I probably don't have to do that. I probably could do this. Like, all of that stuff is just different, right? But then when you start to pay attention to what it is you need to focus on, it makes a lot of sense. None of us have the capacity, right, to allow ourselves to come into full term with what's happening. And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm speaking in this in terms of your spirit. The spiritual aspect of you is not really who you are on a physical level. Your physical body is just for this dimension. Again, let's make that clear. You don't need your body for another timeline. Well, for another dimension. For this timeline, maybe. Depends what your journey is and, what it is that you're trying to fix. And before we go, I just wanted to make sure that we have this full understanding of being able to balance out, because see, we're in this phase of starting to apply, right? The end of 2019, more so fall of 2019, coming into 2020 was the beginning of the realization. 2021 was you starting to say, okay, I know I need to start working on these things. At this point, you should have begun working on things, and you should see a real difference from now back to 2020, 2019. And I mean in terms of your spirit. Your body as well, right? Because that'll start to reflect on everything that it is you have going on. And this is going to look different for everyone. We don't all have the same purpose. We don't all have the same journey. We don't all have the same beliefs or perception. But the overall gist, again, is to come into. You don't need to necessarily have this idea that you know everything, but you need to have a good idea on what it is you need to be working towards, simply because this is your journey. If you don't raise your vibration to exist in this new world, and I don't mean this new world as in new world order, I mean the split earth, the split universe, you're going to be left behind, and it's just that simple. And whatever raising your vibration means to you, that's what you work on. You don't have to say, because what I say raising my vibration is allowing myself to open myself up more to my spiritual gifts, paying attention to the creator more, being more obedient, working on my attitude, working on how I respond to things, allowing myself to learn as much as possible, eating better, working out, sticking to my plans, allowing my guides, my angels, my ancestors to lead me in the right direction, right? That doesn't have to be what it is that you consider raising your vibration. You could just simply say, I want to work out and eat better and go about my day. Like, right? We don't all have the same goals. We don't all have the same relationship with God. But yeah, that's it. The covering of the face is not just about COVID. These spirits are going to start jumping into our bodies, and it's going to get deep as hell. But I'm gonna end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. I hope y'all are drinking y'all water, eating y'all fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it's free. Oh, the ammunition making class. I'm gonna give y'all a date soon because we started making the bullets, but I need to find some way to store them. But I have the bullets. All right, love y'all.